What's up, guys? Sub-Zerek here, back for another VOD review. Today, doing another game from the Dark Star Cup, and we're doing another Broseph game because he played some really interesting lines. Like we talked about, he played a lot of AP flex on days 1 and 2, and he did make it to a final lobby. So, gonna be rooting for him today. And in the final lobby, we got a lot of stuff coming together. If you guys don't watch these cups, it's kind of crazy. I mean, we send players to Worlds based on these cups now. So the winner of both the EMEA and the Americas Cups are going to World. Already Lituchuan won the Chinese one, so they're going to be at Worlds again. I mean, it's I really like what they've done with the Tier 1 scene. I hope they can do something like this for Tier 2 eventually. But yeah, we're watching Broseph this game. You will see this game really comes down to our augment selection and what we are offered to play and what we end up playing. And we got a yap about this. So start off here with some pretty mediocre options. Pandora's, Booster Pack, the BT one. Don't really like any of these. I kind of hate 2-1 Booster Pack, but at least it's some gold. We are getting some gold from our portal as well. But we roll and we see Reach for the Stars. And if this was last patch, you would never click this augment. If you look at our items, they are in some ways really good and in some ways really bad for this augment. We have kind of like half of a lot of things, but no actual slams here. But you're going to see pretty quickly, Bros is going to look at this augment, do a scout of the lobby to make sure nobody else is playing it, and he's going to grab Reach for the Stars here on 2-1 with no Stargazer, with no nothing, really. No slam. This is a Reach for the Star spot. Now, why? Why is this a Reach for the Star spot? Well, this augment got buffed pretty considerably on this patch. They did a pass on all the hero augments and buffed a bunch of them up a lot. And it's actually kind of broken now if you build the correct items. If you look at the stats for hero augment Jax, it does not look amazing. But if you start looking at the stats when you specifically build Edge of Night, it starts to look really, really, really good. This item is basically 100% necessary on hero augment Jax. If you're not building Edge of Night, you're having a horrible time. Winsu's Rageblade is also very, very much overbuilt. A lot of people are like, oh, he's Jax, he's an attacker, he stacks up, we should build Winsu's on him. No, you just want to go BT, Edge of Night, Titans, get this guy stacking up and surviving, really, and then you're gonna go. And you're going to win a lot of fights. It's also Huntress, which is kind of interesting. This is one that also got a little bit buffed up on this patch. It's actually not even bad for this Jax hero. I did this look at the stats for all the Jax medallion, all those ones in Jax hero specifically, and it came down that Mountain is really, really strong. Serpent is really, really strong because that one has been buffed for a while. It's pretty good these days. Boar is good, especially obviously if you get stacking it up. And then after that is Huntress, and then Altar, Medallion, Fountain to round it out there. Starlight Hex doesn't strike me as amazing, but tier is not great either. I guess we'll just take the tier here and really hope to pick up some kind of component here for the Edge of Night. We're actually going to be forced to take Bow here and probably take Titans, which is a little unfortunate because it's going to kill our Edge of Night. But the hope is that we can keep our loss streak for the next couple of rounds and get some kind of Edge of Night off of an item anvil. So yeah, but yeah, so the stats suggest that the Huntress is actually like totally fine. It's interesting that the Altar is not amazing in the stats, but it can be. I think the idea is that you really want to be winning stage 3 with this line, right? And Altar kind of prevents that. It makes you spike really, really hard stage 4. And I will say all of these are pretty playable. With the exception of Fountain. All of them are under a 4.0 with the filters that I had on, except for Fountain. Fountain is above a 4.0. And so, yeah, probably stay away from this if you are in Fountain. Just the idea is it takes too long for Jax to scale up. We don't need scaling from Jax and scaling from the Stargazer effect. We would just prefer to have Jax be doing pretty good work from the start. We are going to lose this last one, so we are going to get at least 1 item anvil, which should be pretty good. Don't think we're going to get all the way down to 2. So we end up just taking kind of a mixed streak here. A little surprised that we did try to win, but I mean, to be fair, our board's pretty bad. We're just playing 3 Timebreaker this entire stage, which honestly I do love. We didn't really have that great of a board until we got this Timebreaker in. It also transitioned naturally into this board that we have in the planner, which is this Lulu reroll board. The idea with Jax Hero, as far as what board you're going to play, is you're just going to play essentially like pretend like you're playing Lulu Reroll, except you're going to just roll on 6. You're not going to care too much about reaching actually like the Lulu. It's actually quite difficult from an item slam perspective. You could low-key make like a JG and then move that down later, but I don't completely love it. You need to keep a lot of these components open, right? And yeah, you must take the Chain Vest here for potential... Whoa! I'm assuming for potential Edge of Night, though. He might actually slam something here. Yeah, I mean, the only items that you could slam are JG, Hodge, and Archangel here. Hodge is okay, but I wouldn't really be that excited about that on Jax. I do think you really want the BT. We'd love like an item grab bag here, honestly, to get us to some real items. Portable Forge, though, a great pickup here. And with Portable Forge, we get some really nice options. Seekers, RFC, Dawncore, Thresh's Lantern. Seekers is the second best artifact on Jax. I actually have this pulled up and I was looking at it before the video, so I can just show you guys here. It goes Wit's End first, and then Seekers, and then Evelyn's Instinct. If you want to just completely filter these out and look at these, then obviously, you know, you're going to get more stuff, but you can see stuff like Evelyn's Wit's End perform really nicely onto this guy. Mitten's pretty solid as well. Zonya's not bad. RFC actually, you know, makes sense. It'd be pretty good. Flicker Blades looks pretty good as well. But yeah, I mean, Seeker's quite consistent and quite strong here, so this should be the pickup. I think he's just checking the stats here, actually, real quick. I guess the idea is you can even skip out on Edge of Night with some of these. So, you know, my filter there is not perfect, and so just looking at them raw makes a lot of sense here. But you want some way of filtering for hero, but it's just not, you know, you can't always filter for exactly hero. He is going to make the adaptive helm now for the Jax and the JG here. I love this. The idea being we've reached our healing item. We've reached the Seekers. So we do not need to build BT anymore. So now we can just use those items to build the adaptive helm, leave the Chain Vest open for the Edge of Night because we're still really going to want to build that. And then we can make the JG. So great slams from Broseph here. Level 6 here. Time to roll it down. Probably time to pivot the board into more of the Lulu style board. Get out of this kind of stuff. And yep, we are just going to pivot essentially the whole board here. And he pulled items off Jax. Oh, so he's going to move JG. Oh, huh. It's kind of interesting. So we opted to just... I thought for sure we'd just throw the JG onto Jax, but I guess his idea is that it's not going to do all that much, so might as well put it onto Lulu here. And we're also probably going to get... hopefully going to get an item off carousel here. But okay, so this is going to be our setup for now. All right, last one. I mean, acceleration hex is really tempting. The attack speed is great. Only downside is we're going to be stuck on one Jax hex for a while here. We can take bow for half Nashers, one of the best items, onto this, well, onto the Lulu and onto anybody really. So yeah, this looks pretty good here. We're also fitting Maokai onto this board. So kind of like normally when you're playing the Lulu version, you're like, do I fit Maokai? Do I fit Milio? Do I cut out of Aatrox? On this board, it makes a lot of sense to fit Maokai and just drop out of Milio. The only sad part is obviously the Timebreaker effect is really nice. Okay, and then he does move the JG up. The Timebreaker attack speed would be nice for Jax, but Fate Weaver doesn't really do anything. And the big upside is, you know, Maokai is giving us Brawler on our board, making our Pantheon a lot tankier, and giving us that Nova effect, which is really nice to just make sure that our board lasts long enough. So I think it makes a lot of sense to play this version when you are playing around Jax. And he's going to try to fake swap for a while, but I mean, I do think, whoa, okay, he does. He waits till last second. He almost fooled me there. That was some nice swap in there. But yeah, I mean, we certainly need to just sit on the acceleration hex. The attack speed is really valuable, and we would definitely not mind, you know, ending up in Yasuo as our god here, so that we can get even more attack speed onto this Jax and just make a super Jax. But yeah, going to continue to roll down here. 6 Jaxes. The rolls are being pretty favorable for us. He's holding on to all the 2 costs, help thin out the pool a little bit. And yeah, I mean, we're pretty much on rate here on the normal interval. And we do pick up Edge of Night here, which is huge. Edge of Night Sunfire looking pretty reasonable. I guess maybe Edge of Night Nashers as well, actually. Moves the dude over. We're going to take Cloak here. So I guess it's going to be Gargoyle Nash. It just means we have no Sunfire effect, which is a little bit sad. Going to roll down here, pick up some stuff, and yeah, Gargoyle Nash just too good to pass up here. So we will put these items down. So when you're playing this line, you can't play Jax as your tank because Jax is your carry. So you need a new tank. So you play around Pantheon pretty much every single time because you can roll in 6, find Pantheon 3, have a really good time. Pantheon actually likes pretty similar items to Jax items. Ooh, who's ever Tiny but Deadly? Yeah, okay, I'm down to take it. Solid combat augment here. Only thing is you have to be a little bit careful here. We'll talk about it. There's the Jax 3, big hit here. So now we can afford to just chill a little bit and sit on 30 gold and re-econ up here. Hopefully still find the Pantheon, but then we do definitely want to level for the Milio down the line. But yeah, Pantheon, he's got a pretty similar ability to Jax's. Obviously, he does not get that kind of like flat like damage reduction where he's like reducing points of damage. But he gives himself a shield and he gets durability. Very similar to Jax, where Jax casts, he gives himself a shield and then he gives himself that flat damage reduction. And so you want to get him casting and you want to give him a lot of stats to work with that durability. So you don't really care to build durability onto him. Stuff like Gargoyle, stuff like Adaptive Vow, even stuff like Crown Guard is not too bad on this guy because his shield scales with AP. His shield does also scale with HP, so he's a better unit to build HP items on. Stuff, like Warmogs is quite reasonable on him compared to on Jax, where Jax doesn't actually use the HP that well. So that's, I guess, the crash course for Pantheon itemization. We get Storm Hex here. Must click this basically, and then I think we should start looking for heal cut here. This could also be, I guess, another Nashor's here, but would love to get to like a red buff just so we have some heal cut on this board. We got the Armor Noir Shred covered, of course, on the Aatrox that we have in here, the Nova effect, so don't have to worry too much about that. We are going to Storm Hex the Lulu, who is really, really nice. She's hitting multiple targets with her ult. I will say, by the way, Huntress, it's pretty good for, the Jax himself. It's kind of crummy for Lulu. Huntress Lulu has historically been one of the worst ones. Actually, you know what? I have the order pulled up here because I did it earlier. And yes, it is still the worst one. Her ability is just quite underwhelming on this one. It's raining arrows one, which it doesn't do a ton of damage. So like it's just like not like you want to have Lulu kind of like primary carry in this. It does give the wound. Oh, well, there you go. So I guess you have that covered there. So you don't have to actually even need to build heal cut here. Oh, okay. So easy as pie. We don't even have to build heal cut, and so we can just go triple Lulu item. Dude, I never even play arrow, so I was like looking it up. I was like, which is this the, but no, this is, yeah, the altar is the one that slows. I was thinking it's the other way around, but you never play either, honestly. So yeah, I mean, we're just gonna have to make GS here. Okay, this is fine. We need last tank item and last Lulu item here. Oh, wow. That is surprising to me. He's going to opt for just perfect Lulu items here, just get her casting, and this is going to mean that we're only 2 items onto the Pantheon here. But he says, you know what, we're 51 HP, we're so healthy here, we can actually afford to just chill for a little while on this board here. It's kind of a crazy call, but it's not that crazy in the grand scheme of things. We also have to not roll on 6 here, so we might end up in Pantheon jail, which would actually be really, really rough. We're gonna lose some fights here. This is some scary stuff. I mean, we can't really push 8 very quickly. Yeah, oh, okay. Well, that solves that problem. We had to roll on 7, of course, for Pantheon 3. Okay, very nice that we did not end up in Pantheon jail there, stuck there without hitting Pantheon 3, because this is our entire front line here. We do not want to spend all this time looking for Lulu 3. We would really like to econ back up here. Also, great swap from Broseph here, getting the Pantheon over on the same side as all this scary stuff here. Jax stacking up nicely here. And you can see, once you get this guy going, once you get your front line done and your 3-item Jax done, he starts to become kind of a monster in fights like this. Low key, we could level this round if we're really afraid. Looks like Broseph is going to hold the line and is not going to level here, but I mean, it's a pretty big upgrade. He's going to keep, scouting the lobbies and keep seeing people on the left side here. So he's going to swap back to the left side again here and just kind of leave Jax over here in Narnia. But I mean, it's totally fine. Worst case, he has Edge of Night, so he can drop aggro. And best case, stuff like this happens. There's no carry over there. There's a bunch of low HP units for Jax to kind of like farm up here. Pretty surprised he doesn't just take double adaptive here, but he's just going to risk it for the biscuit, go for a better item here. And he's rolling on 7 here for his cap. He's not going to level here, and he does get Crown Guard. Wow, that's a great hit for him here. So yeah, he'd actually rather roll for the Lulu 3. We're relatively far from it, but you can definitely still go for it in this spot here. It just means you're going to be a little bit weaker on rounds like this. But he says, you know what, I'm playing max cap gaming. I'm confident in my board here, so I do not need to level for the Rost here. I will just roll for my Lulu 3. And yeah, he's just going to continue to sit here and roll for Lulu pretty slowly. But hey, I mean, some rolls are some rolls. I mean, we pick up Ross Pair, which is kind of nice. He's going to keep him right side this time. Actually swaps him out of the Huntress Hex here just to get him in the spot here where he will always aggro the Yi. This is really nice positioning from Broseph here. We are going to lose this fight, sadly, to a very juiced up board there. I mean, there's just too much stuff to beat there. You can continue to slow roll, find 6 Lulus. So we're getting there. Once again, holding these 3 costs. I mean, there's pretty good odds we can find Lulu 3 next round if we hit 1 on the way to 50, you keep rolling, and then, you know, you just keep rolling it as you find more. The dream is to find like a random dupe here. But yeah, I mean, we have so much gold, so we should roll here. Do find the Lulu. So we're going to continue to roll down here. Should definitely roll a 40 here for another Lulu. Probably roll a 30 for another Lulu. Do find the Maokai here. And we are just looking for that last Lulu, and we do find it. So it takes a lot of gold, but we do reach everything. We reach the Lulu and we reach the Maokai. So yeah, max cap gameplay from Broseph. It means he's not going to be able to level here, but he'd rather go for this stuff, right? If you could pick between leveling and getting the Lulu 3, you would probably pick this, just because the Armor Mar is not that valuable with Bastion, and the attack speed, I mean, you're getting some off Timebreaker. The dream is obviously to get everything, but usually not able to get everything here. Also note, yeah, let's see. So he is going to swap. No, okay, he's going to keep items on Pantheon. I was about to say, I mean, this is actually, wow, wait, this is a really cool idea. Okay, so a couple of things going on here. One, I kind of think Pantheon's a better tank than Maokai. When I played a lot of Lulu reroll, I played a lot of Lulu reroll last patch, and that's just the conclusion I came to after watching it a lot. But Broseph actually did a really cool thing here, is he put Maokai on the left, and Pantheon on the right here, and his idea was he could actually swap items at any moment there. So he saw at the last second that there was a carry on the right side, so he opted to just leave Maokai on the right side. Also, look at this, opts to drop out of the attack speed hex and just moves Jax fully over to the left side here. I don't think it's going to be enough. Yeah, we are going to end up losing this game, so it is only a top 2, but it's just a beautiful top 2 from Broseph, showing off the power of this hero augment. Although interesting, he did favor Maokai over Pantheon there at the end there. I don't know. I've always favored Pantheon here, but maybe he thinks with these items that Maokai is a little bit better. Obviously, Warmock's pretty good on him. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my Twitch down below, my Metafy for all your coaching needs, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching as always. Bye-bye.